All right, here we are with the first ever 3 Days Grace CD unboxing on this channel, and let's not waste more time. So, I don't really think I've not really wanted to do one of these, but I'm doing them now because recently 3 Days Grace announced there's a new album coming out. It's coming out August 22nd, I believe. So we're gonna do an unboxing. I might give a partial review, not like a full review, but I'll give you my thoughts on the album after listening to it twice. Yes, I've listened to it twice. I had to get an understanding of the tracks again because when I listen to an entire album, I kind of forget. But here it is: 3 Days Grace's self-title. Now this isn't the first album they've ever made. They actually made one like 8 years ago before this one. Because if you don't remember, 3 Days Grace originally formed in 1992 in Norwood, Ontario, which is based in Canada, if you don't know. They usually played at bars and other things and like backyard parties under the name Groundswell. And back then, the band consisted of lead singer Adam Gontier, drummer Neil Sanderson, bass player Brad Walsh, lead guitarist Phil Crow, and rhythm guitarist Joe Grant. They released one album at that time called Wave of Popular Feeling, and that's pretty much it. And then they disband. Then, 2 years later, in 97, they came back under the new name 3 Days Grace. And they released this album in 2003 with new guitarist Barry Stock. Then, in 2013, Adam Gontier departed. Then, Brad Walsh's brother, Matt Walsh, who was the singer of My Darkest Days, a band that only released like 2 albums, but did have one hit song, and that was Porn Star Dancing. The 2 albums they released in particular were their self-title and Sick and Twisted Affair. Then, as of recently, Adam Gontier returned. Again, I don't know much else about 3 Days Grace other than some of the albums they've made, but let's not waste more time. Let's unbox this thing. So here's the cover art. And I should mention that recently the art covers have changed, where they changed them to like goofy figures or something. Not stick figures, but like goofy little figures. It's only online though, not any of the physical copies, but we got family, the kid, and the house is burning in the background. I'm not entirely sure the whole meaning, but what I do know is that this is the front cover. Here's spine, there's Jive, which also had Bowling for Soup for a brief time. Code, we got the back cover with the members. There's the track listings. It's not it's written like a list. Burn Just Like You. I like that one. I like most of the tracks on here. I like this one, Burn Just Like You, I Hate Everything About You, Home. Scared, one of the lines in Scared kind of reminded me of like Runaway with like the flow and such. Not entirely. Let You Down, another good song. Maybe I wasn't the biggest fan of it. Overrated, wasn't the biggest fan. It's not overrated, but it's not underrated. Then again, a lot of the songs on here are really good. And that's kind of why it's a little hard for me to review albums. I like a lot of music, and a lot of this is good. So there's got to be at least like one track I can say I'm not a fan of, and I just gotta say it's this last one. Everything else, pretty good, and I would say this is a overall 9 out of 10. I could give it a 10 out of 10, but some criticism is definitely needed, and it's kind of hard for me to give that. There's who was produced by Gavin Golden Brown, I think that's what it says. There's the Jive logo. There's the copyright. Open this up. There's members again. Give me a second. Whoa. Sorry about that. So we're gonna open this up. We have the lyrics all written on paper. It's kind of like Green Day's American Idiot a little bit, except this is the one before American Idiot, where the lyrics or the linear notes were written all on like paper and such, and then scanned to here. And there's Just Like You. Oh, and they even have something else about these linear notes. They have parts cross out, like I could be fucked or stupid. Yeah, that's kind of cool. It's some cuts. I'm not sure what that says. The one that's crossed out with some artwork and such. Okay. Home. I liked that one. Scared. Let's see. Let You Down. It's I kind of misread that track, saying I thought it said wow or never, but no, it's now or never. Born Like This. Drown. I can't remember how the tracks always go, because when I listen to just an entire album, I kind of forget about most of it. And I'm not trying to say that I hate albums or anything. Like, I like the songs. Some of them are good. Not all are underrated. But it's kind of hard for me to remember a lot. Though I do tend to remember some information and such. Take Me Under. Let's see. Yeah. Overrated. Again. Not an overrated. Oh, there's even a cross out of Generation. Again, not an overrated track, but not an underrated track in my opinion. You can disagree with me. All songs by 3 Days Grace, except Home and Wake Up with someone else. I can't remember that. There's all the other notes with who mixed them and such. There's also thank yous from the members, from Adam Gontier, Neil Sanderson, Brad Walst. Oh yeah, wait. Oh, and nothing for Barry Stock, I guess. And there's the back again. Okay. Now we're gonna take a look at the CD. It's part of the background. There's the back tray card. Got some like sketching with the house. Oh, that's like an overview of the house. This album did have a lot more hits than I thought. Because I remember Just Like You and I Hate Everything About You. And Home. And also one other one. I think it was the... Hold on, let me check. I think it was I think it was the 10th track that was also a memorable song. But it's also part of like the background. We got the house with the stairs. The name of the album there. Take a look at the back. Oh, that's my shirt. There's a disc information. There's the code. Whatever that is. Hold on, let me take a look at it. Oh, it's Sono Press. That's what it is. More parts of the code and such. Alright, that's going to be the end of this unboxing. Overall, I think this is a really good album. I do recommend. It's not everyone's cup of tea. Like, there may be a track or two you may not like. In this case, Overrated was not my favorite track. But the rest were amazing. And that's all I got to say. Have a good day. Or have a good night.